This is a technique to master the operations with negative numbers. First of all, this technique has a copyright, so this video is for learning purposes only. So to learn addition, subtraction, multiplication, and division for positive and negative numbers, we need to learn it at the same time. So we'll start with addition. So for addition, if it's the same sign, add and copy the sign. If it's a different sign, subtract and copy larger sign. Okay, now let's say we will make an example. So we need to have two numbers where one is divisible by the other. For example, we use 6 and 2. 6 is divisible by 2. So we will put 4 times 6 plus 2, 6 plus 2, 6 plus 2, and 6 plus 2. Now we will put negative signs. So we need to have two negatives, two positives, and then first term is negative, and then second term is negative. So for example, let's say this is 2, both negatives, and then let's say this is both positive, so we don't have to put negative signs. In here we have to put one of them as negative, so let's say this one is negative. And then in here we have to put one of them as negative. And then we follow this rule. So this is both negative, so they have the same sign. We add and copy the sign. So we add this one, 6 and 2. So it will be 8. Copy the sign, will be negative 8. This one, 6 and 2. So they have the same sign. So we have to add 6 plus 2 is 8. And then copy the sign. They're both positive, so that's still positive. Now in here, negative 6 plus 2. So they have different sign. This is negative, this is positive. So different signs, subtract and copy the larger sign. So we have to subtract 6 minus 2 is 4. And then this 6 has the larger sign. So it's negative, so we have to put here negative. In here, they have different signs. This is positive, this is negative, it's still here. We subtract and copy the larger sign. 6 minus 2 is 4. And then the larger sign is 6, which is positive, so this is positive. And you will notice the answer will be different. Although this one, they have the same number. This is negative, this is positive, positive, negative, positive. So that's for addition. It had to be the same number. For subtraction, it had to be change sign of subtrahend, change sign of subtrahend. The second number, this second number is called the subtrahend, and proceed as addition. Proceed as addition. Again, we will make 4 times, so 6 and 2. This time it's subtraction of 6 minus 2, 6 minus 2, 6 minus 2, and then 6 minus 2. Now the sequence of putting the negative sign is, you can put it randomly. So let's say this is both positive, so we won't put any signs. In here, let's put the first term as negative. So this will still be positive. We put a sign. And let's say this one, let's put the second term as negative. And then in here, let's put both numbers negative. So we have, so these are both positive. This is one negative on the first term. This is negative on the second term. This is both negative. Now, it is important to rewrite. You do not do a shortcut. Otherwise, you'll make a mistake. So we have to change the sign of the second number. So this one will become negative 2, but we will make this into addition. So this will become 6 plus negative 2. We'll just change the sign of subtraction first. In here, this is positive 2. It will become negative 2, and when we make this one addition, so negative 6 plus. So this becomes negative because it's the subtrahend, that's the second one, negative 2. In here, we will change negative into positive, but we'll make it into proceed as addition. So this becomes 6 plus, this becomes positive 6 plus 2. In here, this is negative. We'll change it into positive because the sign of the subtrahend. And then we'll make this into addition. So this will become negative 6. This one becomes addition plus this will become positive. Then this is now addition. So we will follow this first rule. So we'll look at the sign. This is positive, this is negative. So they have different sign. Subtract and copy the larger sign. So we have to subtract 6 minus 2 is 4. And the larger sign is this one, which is positive. So this is positive. In here, negative 6, negative 2, they have the same sign. So we add and copy the sign. We will add this one and this one. 6 plus 2 is 8. And then copy the sign, negative. So here, 6 plus 2, they're both positive. So we have the same sign, add and copy the sign. So we add 6 plus 2 is 8. And then they're both positive, copy the sign. In here, negative, positive, they have different sign. Subtract and copy the larger sign. So we have to subtract 6 minus 2 is 4. And then this is the larger sign, which is negative, so this is negative. If you will notice, none of them are the same answer. If you have an answer that have the same, so for example, this is negative 8, this is negative 8, one of them is wrong. So you have to check. Let us proceed to multiplication. Multiplication. So it's easier for multiplication and division. I'll just combine multiplication and division. Same sign, positive, different sign is negative. Again, we will make 4 numbers, 6 and 2, 6 and 2, 6 and 2, 6 and 2. So this is multiplication. Let's say we make this one as the negative sign. So let's make this one negative. So we have the second sign, second term. If there's no sign, it means multiplication. In here, let's make this one the negative number. And then in here, let's make both of them positive. So no, we don't add any sign. And then in here, we'll make it both negative. So now, so we have now four conditions. In here, the second number is negative. In here, the first number is negative. This is both. These are both positive, and these are both negative. Now, the answer for all of them will be the same. 6 times 2 will be 12. These are all 12. Now, the only difference is to look at the sign. So, this is positive, this is negative. They have different sign. Then this becomes negative. Negative 6 and then positive 2 are different signs. So, again, this is negative. In here, 6 and 2 are both positive. same sign, so this becomes positive. Negative 6, negative 2, they have the same sign, so it is positive. So in this case, for multiplication and division, you will have two numbers that are the same. So positive 3, positive 12, negative 12, negative 12. If you have three negative numbers and then one positive, then there's something wrong with your computation. We now go to division. So we do 6 divided by 2, 6 divided by 2, 6 divided by 2, 6 divided by 2. So again, we will randomly put the negative signs. Let's say this is both negative. And then let's say the first one will be negative. And then let's say the second one will be negative, and then this will be both positive. In here, they would also have the same answer. 6 divided by 2 is 3. But then you will check the signs. Negative, negative, they have the same sign, so it becomes positive. This one now, negative and positive, they have different sign, so it becomes negative. Positive and negative, they have different signs, so negative. 6 and 2 are both positive, they have the same sign, so this is positive. Again, the two of them will have the same numbers, so negative 2, negative 3, positive 3, positive 3. That's it. Let's do another example. First, we need to make two numbers. We need to get two numbers where one is divisible by the other. For example, let's say 12 and 4. So 12 is divisible by 4. So we'll start with addition. So 12 plus 4, 12 plus 4, 12 plus 4, 12 plus 4. And then we'll randomly put the negative signs. So let's say this on the first one, let's make the second term negative. In here, let's make both negative. In here, let's make the first term negative. And then here, both positive. So the rule for addition is same sign, add and copy the sign, different sign, subtract and copy the larger sign. So 12 is positive, 4 is negative, so they have different sign. You have to subtract. 12 minus 4 is 8. And then copy the larger sign. 12 is larger and positive, so this is positive. In here, 12 and 4, they are both negative. So if they're both negative, you have to add and copy the sign. So 12 plus 4 is 16. And then copy the sign, negative, negative. In here, negative 12 and positive 4, they are different signs. So we have to subtract. 12 minus 4 is 8. So this is negative. The larger number is negative. So this will be copying the larger sign. In here, 12 and 4, they're both positive. We have to add and copy the sign. 12 plus 4 is 16. Copy the sign is positive. So we'll checking on this. Positive 8, negative 16, negative 8, positive 16. None of the numbers are the same. So this is basically, you can be assured that they are correct. And then we go to subtraction. So we put 12 minus 4, 12 minus 4, 12 minus 4, and then 12 minus 4. And then we randomly, again, put the negative signs. Let's say this will be, let's say leave it positive. And then in here, let's say the first term is negative. And then in here, let's say the second term is negative. And then in here, both terms are negative. So let's see, both positive, left is negative, right is negative, both negative. Okay, and then we don't do a shortcut, we have to rewrite everything. This is so we have to change this into addition and then change the sign of the subtrahend. So this one will become 12 plus this positive 4 becomes negative 4. So we'll just change first before we proceed. In here, this is minus 4, this is positive 4. So this positive 4 becomes negative 4, and then we change it into addition. So you just copy the first sign, so the first term, negative 12, and then positive 4 becomes negative 4, and then we proceed as addition. In here, the second term, the subtrahend is negative, this becomes positive, and then we proceed as addition. So this becomes 12 plus negative 4 becomes positive 4. In here, you always copy the first number, the first term, negative 12. This is negative 4, it will become positive 4, and then we proceed as addition. So this becomes 4. Okay, now we can proceed as addition. 12 and 4, positive and negative, they have different signs, so we have to subtract. 12 minus 4 is 8. And then copy the larger sign. 12 is larger, which is positive, this is positive. In here, they are both negative. If they are both negative, we add and copy the sign. So this is 12 plus 4 is 16. And then negative, copy the sign. In here, 12 plus 4, they have the same sign, so we add 12 plus 4 is 16. Copy the sign, they are positive. In here, negative 12 and positive 4, they have different signs, so we subtract. 12 minus 4 is 8. And then the bigger number, larger number is 12, which is negative, so this becomes negative. So you can see this is positive 8, negative 16, positive 16, negative 8. So basically we're quite certain that they are all correct. Multiplication. So we just put 12 and 4, 12 and 4, 12 and 4, 12 and 4. Then we assign the negative signs. Let's say this is negative on the second term. Let's say these are both negative. Then let's put the first term here is negative, and then these are both positive. Let's check. Negative on second term, both negative. Negative on the first term, both positive. So we have assigned the right signs. So they are all the same. They have all the same answers. 12 times 4 is 48. So this would be easier. 48, 48, and 48. We just checked on the sign. Positive, negative. This will become negative. Negative, negative, they have the same sign, so positive. Negative and positive, they have different signs, so this is negative. Positive and positive, they have the same sign, so positive. Again, we will check. There should only be two numbers of the same number, so these are the same, negative 48, this is positive 48, which is correct. We now go to this division. Let's put 12. 4, let's say division, 12 divided by 4, 12 divided by 4. Again, we will assign signs. Let's say this is negative. Let's say this is negative. Let's say this is negative, negative, and these are positive. So again, 12 divided by 4 is 3. They will all have the same answer, 3, 3, 3, 3. And then negative and positive, they are different signs, negative. Positive and negative, they are different signs, negative. Negative, negative, they have the same sign, so this is positive. Positive, positive, they have the same sign, so this is positive. Again, there will only be two numbers of the same answers. This is positive 3, this is negative 3. So yeah, just you can continue to add, you can continue to make two numbers where one is divisible by the other to practice on this one. So I just also to point out, this has a copyright, so it's only for learning purposes. This is under the book Math Made Easy by Mario Beluso.